Hi there, this is a video response to Bauhammer 2007 on your video Tower Hamlets Now and Then, and also more specifically on the comment board on what today's date, which is what, Friday the 26th of October 2007. And really what I want to say is that, one, I really like the video actually. I used to live in East London, and you, along with Baz94, both your videos, they're really quite cool. I love to see that the way it changed East London so much, and also as a filmmaker, love London, especially it's my hometown, but especially I love East London for the locations and the variety and what you can get there. So, and it's great just to see how the place changed so much, and it will change in the future again a lot because of the developments that is going on. So yeah, great video. Secondly, this is also directed at the comments on here, and wow, yeah, it's really good. I love all this. I love all this commentary. It's actually quite vicious, I think, and it's been happening over the last, really the last week. All these comments suddenly happen. I haven't actually gone far down enough the boards to see who started what or what started who, or if someone is actually pretending to be someone else. And the comments are basically race comments saying, for example, Harry 8, you fucking arsehole. Are you bitch? You can't afford for us. Without us, England would be shit, you wankers, so show respect, dick. And a reply to that was, intelligent response, without you, England would be shit. It was a lot better before you were here, so take a high. As for showing respect, do any of the comments you follow Islamic morons have posted show any? Yeah, I love all this arguments here, and there's a bit of a war between Bermondsey and Tower Hamlets here. Bermondseys on the other side of the river from the east end. I think the Rotherhithe Tunnel will become the latest frontline zone. Yeah, and I'm going to wade into this pool of argument here and to really say that, wow, this is the 21st century, and we haven't got used to each other yet, obviously. But, you know, I think it's time for everyone to just take a step back, to relax a little bit, and to realise that no matter who you like or what you don't like or whatever, as far as modern day London society is concerned, for a fact, you are going to have to put up with people from around the world. That is a fact. And people blame the Labour Party, which I find quite ironic, as the Labour Party usually has stronger immigration laws. If you go back in history, it's actually the Tories who would be the more lax with the immigration policies, despite what Enoch Powell said. They are more slack. They are being better for immigration, immigrants in total. And also, traditionally, capitalist policies are going to encourage migration. The reason why the UK, the US, and a lot of Europe, not all of it, is arguably economically successful is the fact they have some of the most open borders in the world, despite the rhetoric that the politicians will say. Open borders, along with the open for just money, flow of goods, ideas, and of course people. That is the capitalist idea and the capitalist ideal. You would not get immigration without this. Immigrants like my parents would not have come into this country for the fine weather or the delicious food or the warm welcome. They did not come here for that. They came here for the cash. It was pure and simple. And that's why people like me, despite the fact I have a couple of passports, decide to stay here, because the cash is better here rather than other countries where I'm originally from. My parents come from two countries, so when I was a kid I was called a Paki or a nigger depending on the length of my hair, so now I'm in my Negro phase, as you can see. But this is the kind of thing, of the amount of insults I've seen is being entertaining enough. So, not entertaining enough, but quite sad, and not personally sad, but just quite sad to watch just the whole rant going along. Yeah, I can understand from both points of view, actually. I can understand why the English are so upset. They're seeing their motherland being overrun, or so they believe, by a bunch of people who are different from them. But this is a trading nation, and it has always had historically been overrun by many people, especially this city. It's just that with the travel going much further with aeroplanes and better shipping, they haven't come from France or from Spain or from Ireland now, they've come from much further, such as Africa, India and the Far East, as well as Latin America. So that's the main difference from today's migration and the migration and 50 years ago. compared to the migration of the last century or the 19th century and the 18th century, etc., etc. So the so-called English people, you are probably quite mongrelized if you go back far enough. And then I can also see the point of the migrants and the migrants' children, such as myself. I see our point of view, obviously, because it's me. We have been called a shitload of names, and we have had to put up with crap because of our colour. This is the past. We have grown up since the 80s and the 90s, and yes, there was a lot of more racism in the 80s. My parents had to put up with a shitload more racism than I do today. But, you know, life moves on. People move on. We've got bigger, we've got better. It does take time to change attitudes. It does take time to change opinions, but a lot of the bitterness in the past has to really stay there. We can't carry the baggage on, and that's what it seems a lot of this stuff is on here, the insults. They're coming from stuff that's been happening a lot in the past. The reality today is that this country would be nothing without immigrants. Just to ask anyone from England, originally born and bred English, to say, how many of you guys have actually worked on a Sunday or night shift or, you know, late evenings, early mornings, you know, beyond a lousy student or school-time job? Is probably not likely. That's not going to be your working life. You do not aim to go for that kind of lifestyle. So, but how are you going to keep things like hospitals open throughout the night? How are you going to go into a nice clean office on a Monday morning? Doesn't clean itself here. Do you really think that the cook in the pub is actually an English guy on a Sunday? He's going to be cooking a roast beef and potatoes? It ain't happening here. So, you know, there's a little bit of reality check has to kick in here. Without the immigrants, these jobs would be filled by people in this country, but it would maybe they'd be charging £10 an hour. Also for the employers, they have to look at it. They're keeping their costs down, and they want to give the customer the best possible value, basically, because that's how they compete. Again, it's just capitalist world. If you stop migration, you stop opening borders of just anything, not just migration, but of people, of ideas and of goods, and etc., etc., etc. In fact, if you take what I call the left-wing communist stance, you end up like North Korea, a shit-pot country which nobody wants to go to, and everyone's trying to leave. So, you know, you have to be realistic in the economic sense of it. For the people who have come to this country, there is a lot of backbiting. England's crap, England is terrible. So if you don't like it so much, why don't you go back? That is a lot of that comes from negativity, you know, when you face, you know, in the normal workplace, in the normal world. But you have to get over that. You know, when you leave your own country and your own homeland, you are not going to be treated nice wherever you go to. That's a fact of life. We have to put up with because we're doing it for money. It's cash. It's just not personal. Anyway, on a more flippant side now, I was a bit serious. More flippant. Guys, are you dumb? Think about the countries that are coming in here. Brazil, Angola, Estonia, Croatia, Poland, you know, Vietnam. These are countries filled with fit women, and they are willing to come over here to this country to work. Think about it. We are enriching the gene pool. We are thinking with the head. Start thinking with the pistol. It's the women we're after. So we want migration of fit women over here. Any women look at these videos and think of coming over to England, you know, come to Charlie's place in London, and I'll find you a home. Good one too.